قال الله يا عيسى إني متوفيك ورافعك إلي. I am taking you and raising you up to myself. متوفيك, I will fulfill for you the end, the totality of your worldly life. Let's read Tafsir al-Qurtubi. This is from Ali Imran. قال الله يا عيسى إني متوفيك means here إني رافعك إلي ومطهرك من الذين كفروا ومتوفيك بعد أن تنزل من السماء. And then I will take your life, bring you to the end of life. Al-wafat, you have to understand that it has a double meaning. It means to loyally or to rightfully fulfill one's dues. Okay? To fulfill one's dues to somebody. Wafa, it's loyalty, it's fulfillment of rights, it's fulfillment of dues. So wafa means you've been given the life that you were that you was allotted to you. Allotted to you was 26 years, you got 26 years. So wafa means it comes to mean death, but it also means the fulfillment of rights. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in saying inni mutawaffika wa rafi'uka ilayya, meaning you will, oh Isa, you will get your full expanse of life. But first, I'm raising you up. You understand? That's what it means. That's essentially the meaning of it. And Qurtubi says, corollary to this is وَلَوْلَا كَلِمَةٌ سَبَقَتْ مِنْ رَبِّكَ لَكَانَ لِزَامًا وَأَجْرٌ مُسَمًّى وَالتَّقْدِيرُ وَلَوْلَا كَلِمَةٌ سَبَقَتْ مِنْ رَبِّكَ وَأَجْرٌ مُسَمًّى لَكَانَ لِزَامًا. So it means here that if it was not for a promise that Allah has made, then this would have been necessary. Meaning here, مَعْنَى مُتَوَفِّيكَ قَابِضُكَ, I am taking you, قَابِضُكَ, وَرَافِعُكَ, and raising you to the heavens without death. مثل توفيت مالي من فلان أي قبضته, I took my wealth, rightfully mine, I took it back. توفيت مالي من فلان, I took my money back. أي قبضته, I claimed it to myself. وهب ابن منبه توفى الله عيسى عليه السلام 3 ساعات من نهار ثم رفعه إلى السماء وهذا فيه بعد. So he says, saying that he's rejecting. قال ابن زيد متوفيك قابضك, I'm taking you to myself. Mutawaffika here does not mean you reaching the end of life. So the first tafsir is, oh Isa, I will get you to the end of your life, but first I will raise you up. The second meaning is mutawaffika means I'm taking you to myself. قابضك. Al-qabd. Qabd means to hold on to something. Or it means to take possession of something. Because, for example, if I have a grain of corn that's due to me, and I drive me and my worker to the farm, and my worker goes out, takes the basket and puts it in the car. So I have qabd over that corn without physically having held on to it. Okay, so I've taken possession of it. That's what the meaning of it is. The other meaning of qabd is not just to hold physically onto something; it's to take possession of something. وقال ابن زيد متوفيك قابضك ومتوفيك ورافعك واحد. Mutawaffika and rafi'uka is the same moment of the rising before his death. Does not have the meaning of death in every single sense. That's why we have to understand there are equivocal and unequivocal meanings. Equivocal has multiple meanings. Unequivocal has only one meaning. Ibn Abbas, ma'ana mutawaffika mumituk. Now Ibn Abbas says that here, mutawaffika, it means I will give you death. So the death and the rising, they're just not in order. Because the waw does not indicate order. So that's a third tafsir of the verse. The very fact that you have multiple tafsirs of the verse indicates it is not qat'i to mean death. And when he does mean death, he says, but it's not in order. Okay? You will die like a normal person, but first we will raise you. Al-Rabi' ibn Anas, wafat naum, وهو الذي يتوفاكم بالليل. Rabi' ibn Anas gives a fourth tafsir. متوفيك, I will make you have a deep sleep. In other words, you will How will Allah raise him up? While he's awake? No, while you're asleep. Sleep, and Allah will raise you up. You see? That's the second meaning. Sleep, have a deep sleep, and Allah will raise you up in a deep sleep. So now we covered 4 meanings. What is the first meaning? That it means I will make you reach your end. In other words, all the years of your life that have been destined to you for this life, I will make you reach that end. Meaning of wafa li hayatika. I'm going to give you wafa for your life. But first I'm raising you. The second meaning, mutawaffika qabiduka. Same meaning as rafi'uka. I'm possessing you. I'm claiming you to myself and raising you up. Third meaning, death, but out of order. In other words, you will die like any other human being, but first I will raise you up. Fourth meaning, I will put you in a deep sleep and raise you up. Inni mutawaffika. I will make you have a deep sleep, then you raise up, because you will not be raised up. How? Awake. That would be like a mi'raj. It's not a mi'raj. It's a wafa, deep sleep, and then rafa. So that's 4 meanings so far. A, yunimukum لأن النوم أخو الموت. And he cites the Quran here. Rabi' ibn Anas. وهو الذي يتوفاكم بالليل ويعلم ما جرحتم بالنهار. He's the one who makes you sleep at night while knowing what you did in the day. So هو الذي يتوفاكم has come in the Quran, Surah Al-An'am, with the meaning of sleeping. He is the one who makes you sleep at night. هو الذي يتوفاكم بالليل. You understand here? All right. كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم لما سئل أفي الجنة نوم. The Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said, is there sleep in paradise? قال لا. النوم أخو الموت. Sleep is the little brother of death. والجنة لا موت فيها. Sleep is the brother of death, and paradise has no death in it. أخرجه الدارقطني. والصحيح أن الله تعالى رفعه إلى السماء من غير وفاة ولا نوم كما قال الحسن وابن زيد. Qurtubi prefers another opinion. He says that Allah raised him up awake. Okay, and Tabari chose that too. And Ibn Abbas chose that too. So they have difference of opinion even on how Sayyidina Isa was raised up. All right, you see all this talk, it's an equivocal verse. It's a verse that is speculative, that can be interpreted in many ways. So when you have that, you have to interpret it according to the other verses that have no disagreement. So, al-mutashabih wal-mukhtalaf fihi yufassaru bil-muhkam. That which is disputed is understood in light of the muhkam, that which is not disputed, not the other way around. You don't twist an unequivocal verse to mean what interpretation of an equivocal verse. You understand? You don't twist around the qat'i verse to fit a dhanni verse, the meaning of a dhanni. The perennialists did this too, all the time. They took a far-off interpretation in Surah Al-Baqarah, the Jews and the Christians and the Sabians, no fear for them, right? And they said, oh, there it is, no fear for Jews and Christians. That means they're accepted, they're valid inside of God. And then they took the other verses upon the belief of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, okay, and they played around with those verses. The obligation of believing the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam comes in many verses and other that are absolutely qat'i. There's no interpretation on them. So they took an interpretive verse and used that to wrestle down a qat'i verse. Qat'i means explicit, has one possible meaning.